Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Today, I want to talk about giving bigger, giving in a more meaningful way, and giving with impact in your life, because I think it's so often that we get caught up in the receiving and the getting and the bettering of our lives, that we focus so much on what we want and what we want to achieve and attain and receive, that we forget that the very investment of our time, energy, value, resources, love, care, compassion, empathy, value, energy, all this kind of stuff is what we need to give first in order to receive that in our lives. And it's really valuable to develop that giving muscle in your life. Let's refer to it as a muscle, because the more you exercise giving, the easier it becomes. Just like when you go to a gym and you get more fit and you're doing curls or chin-ups or pull-ups or dips or whatever, it becomes easier over time because you're training your body to accept this as normal. You're training your body to accept this as regular. So the stress that your muscles and your nervous system goes through, your body responds and repairs itself, and it rebuilds itself with nutrients, with macronutrients and micronutrients, protein and fat and vitamin C and sulfur and all this kind of stuff, to rebuild your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons, your tissue, all this kind of stuff, to completely reshape your body. And that same kind of consciousness, that same sort of idea, is how giving works in any area of your life. And I like to break down, and a lot of people really like to break down, the three areas of life where we receive gratification, fulfillment, reward, are three separate, distinct areas. So number one, our relationships. I'm walking on a log right now. Number one, our relationships. So our relationships, obviously, the less we give, the less we receive. I think we've all been there before. Some of us are completely unable to give in our relationships, and that hurts because we know we're hurting our partners. The number two thing is finances. Your finances, your economic condition, which is completely and solely up to you, by the way. That's another area where we can give bigger in order to receive bigger, in order to receive more. And the third, but not last, the area that's one of the closest, one of the nearest and dearest to my heart, is health and wellness, health and vitality, well-being. And we can give in each of these three areas, into the world and into the lives and into humanity, and just giving those three areas to the world, to the earth, to the people here. And the more we give, right, the more we give from here, from our heart, the more we receive from other hearts, from other people, from other beings on this place we call Earth. And I think it's really important to understand, whoa, that was a close one. It's really important to pay attention to when bikers are coming down the trail at like 20 miles an hour. No, it's really important to understand and pay attention to how you can give and when you can give. But first and foremost, to assess where you are at. I think this is one of the most critical, most valuable steps that is missed in achieving or receiving more, rather, a more fruitful, more abundant, more blessed life full of happiness, and what it is that you want, whatever it is that you're searching for. And I think it really comes down to giving to yourself first and foremost. So I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm by no means perfect or ascended or anything like that. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I screw up. Sometimes I recognize when I screw up. Sometimes I don't. And today I took care of myself really well in the morning, right? So I did some yoga, meditated a little bit, made an organic smoothie with some bomb-ass turmeric and ashwagandha and all these superfoods, and I felt good, right? I felt good. I started my day off really well, and I went outside, and after yoga and getting a little work done, and made the smoothie, started drinking it, went outside, just sit outside in the sun, just be outside, breathe some fresh air, get some sun. And my neighbor's son, my neighbor is an 85-year-old woman, her name's Sylvia. I think that was a woodpecker. A lot of stuff on the trail today. Her son, he's, I don't know, in his 50s, he said, thanks for helping my mom the other day, as he was leaving. the place where I live. And I said immediately, I didn't even think. I wasn't mindful. I was almost defensive, as odd as that sounds. I responded and I said, I don't know what I helped her with. I don't think I really helped her with anything, but thanks anyway. So I kind of rejected his compliment, or rejected his, uh, him wanting to express his gratitude. I sort of rejected that. And I noticed it immediately because his response, well, first of all, it just felt weird because I was like, I don't really know if I can accept this because I have no idea what he's talking about, so I need clarity. When I could have just said, oh, thanks, or, oh, I appreciate it, or whatever. And then he kind of recommunicated what he said, and just in a different way. And he said, oh, my mom said you did something the other day, and then I had to think for a minute, and I was like, oh, yeah, I helped her, put the table together. She had a slider piece, and I helped her, take this table, help her put a bigger piece, make the table bigger, the dining room table. And I said, oh, yeah, you're welcome, no big deal, whatever. And as he drove away, I realized that I couldn't accept his gratitude. I couldn't accept his appreciation. Number one, because I really didn't know exactly specifically what he was talking about, so that was a little part of it. But the bigger reasoning behind that was I wasn't really ready or willing to accept his gratitude or appreciation because I felt I had done nothing over, above, and beyond. Putting a table together is, I forgot about it immediately after. So it's not like I actually spent time and energy. I mean, it took 2 minutes. But he wanted to express his gratitude, and I couldn't accept that. And there's something in me that still has trouble accepting compliments, accepting gratitude, accepting appreciation, which means there's a blockage in me, which means there's something in me that isn't allowing other people to express their gratitude, which means that I myself cannot express gratitude and appreciation as well. Because I'm limiting the intake, so I'm also limiting the outtake. I'm limiting what I can receive, so I'm limiting what I can give. And that's a really, really, really key, important step. It's the first step in understanding how to give bigger, is to understand where in your life you are shortchanging yourself. Understand where in your life you are not giving yourself full credit, even if that credit is, half yours, half someone else's. Accept and value what it is that you've done, or accept or value what it is that you have given. Accept or value that appreciation, that gratitude, and the giving that people are bestowing into your life. Because when you begin to accept what others bring into your life, you begin to build up something. You begin to build up something within yourself that you can then give, that you can then spread, that you can then share with the world. And if you stop or block that incoming positivity, you also stop or block that outgoing positivity, that outgoing generosity, that outgoing gift that you need to give to the world. So it really comes down to I think one of the biggest lessons in becoming a bigger giver and becoming a bigger blessing on this on earth and in this world, and to your friends and your family and your coworkers and the strangers at the grocery store. It doesn't even matter. The biggest key in becoming a bigger blessing in the lives of the people here in this existence, in your life, is to first and foremost accept the love, appreciation, gratitude, and the gifts that people want to give to you. If you cannot accept, you cannot give. If you cannot receive, you cannot give. If you are blocked from that intake, you're blocked from that outtake. So first and foremost, allow other people to give to you. Allow other people to build and use their words and use their time, use their energy, and use their value to invest in you, because you deserve that, and you need to take that, and you need to run with that, and you need to make that a part of who you are. Because the more you allow others to give to you, the more you're going to feel blessed, the more you're going to feel cherished, the more you're going to feel appreciated, the more you're going to feel valued. And that natural inclination then is easy. It's really easy to give to the world. It's really easy to give from a whole heart. It's really easy to give from a place of abundance if you can accept what is given to you. So that's a first and very important point. Secondly, though, you need to be able to give to yourself. Now, this may be more of a challenge for some of you, maybe probably more of you than even receiving gifts or compliments or appreciation or gratitude from others, because we are so hard on ourselves. We are so difficult on ourselves. We make it we make it so difficult to give and value and love ourselves. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because whatever it is you're seeking in your life, whether it's more health and vitality and wellness and energy and brain capacity, creativity, or whether it's a healthy relationship with a healthy partner who values you, who trusts you, who honors you, who respects you, who wants to make love to you every single night, right? Or whether it's getting a job or a promotion or becoming a partner at your law firm or whatever it may be, it really doesn't matter. Whether it's in a relationship context, health context, or your finances context, it really doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you want to receive more of, you need to give more of. And if you can't give to yourself first and foremost, the ability, the reserves that you have to give in that area that you want to receive is minimal. So your results, the gifts or the blessings or the value coming into your life is minimal as well, because you can't take that big leap forward to give in a much bigger way, to receive in a much bigger way. So if you want more in your life, you have to focus more on giving. And you have to allow others to give to you, and you have to allow you to give to yourself. So I'm going to give you an example. If you want more health in your life, that's actually probably one of the easiest things you can do. You just have to make the choice to give to yourself. You have to give yourself fruits. You have to give yourself vegetables. You have to give yourself water, hydration. You have to give yourself exercise. You have to give yourself a good, healthy night's rest. You have to give yourself peace and quiet and meditation that soaks away all that stress and all that anxiety and just lets it float away. You have to give yourself the gift of health before health can give its gift to you. And when it comes to relationships, you have to be who you want in a relationship. In other words, you have to be that person. You have to be that loving, honoring, respecting, trustworthy, XYZ, the list goes on and on. You have to be these things. You have to be these things for yourself, and you have to give yourself these things, these gifts, before those gifts can be given to you in a relationship context. So you have to give yourself these things first and foremost. And if you don't like the results you're getting in your life, in your health, or in your relationships, or in your finances, you just have a giving blockage. So if I want to receive something from you, I'm not giving to you what I want to receive. That's why I'm not receiving it. So you have to be able to give in these ways, and you have to be able to invest in these ways. And that's why I love the topics or the content around personal and spiritual development, because when you focus on personal and spiritual development in your life, health and wellness and vitality, that becomes a lifestyle. That becomes something that you just do. You're being that. You do that. You are that. You attract that. You resonate with that, and you live in a healthy way, and you get those benefits in your life. And in relationships, I think health and wellness and vitality and valuing and investing into yourself and loving yourself enough to care about your health and not devalue it spills over into your relationships and into your finances. So when you're healthy, you have a healthy mind, you have a healthy brain. You naturally respect, you naturally trust, you naturally forgive, you naturally and organically develop into someone that is a healthy partner. And when you are a healthy partner, you attract a healthy partner. Now, that may sound counterintuitive, because I think we can all say, I've heard this before. I've been in a place in my life where, I thought I was a healthy partner. I was a healthy partner. My partner surely wasn't healthy. Maybe you got cheated on. Maybe your heart was broken. Maybe this and that. Whatever happened for a purpose, not a reason, a purpose. A reason is a reason. A reason could be fleeting and has no sort of divine guidance behind it. A purpose, on the other hand, is something needed to awaken in you, and you needed to go through what you went through for that journey or that path or that spark to be awakened, so that whatever it was or whatever it is you're going through sets you up in a way that becomes an even bigger blessing, or becomes an even bigger benefit, or an even bigger joy in your life. Because you have to remember that all this pain and suffering and trials and tribulations and all this negative shit we go through, it's got a lesson, it's got a meaning, it's got a purpose. It's there for a reason. It's in your life for a reason. It's a teacher. And that teacher is teaching you. And when you've learned the lesson, the teacher will disappear. It's really that simple. When you've learned the lesson, the teacher will disappear. So we have to remember that we have to give what we want to receive. So if you want more health or wellness, give more health and wellness to yourself first and foremost. And allow others to invest into you. Don't be closed. Don't have blockages. And if you become mindful enough and you pay attention, you're going to realize that you do have some blockages. I think we all do in our own way. And the better you can recognize those, the easier it is to remove those blockages. The easier it is to create alignment, create harmony, so that the giving into your life is easier and there's more ease of access. When there's more ease of access, and when people feel they can give to you and invest into you and add value to your life, guess what they're going to do? They're going to keep doing that. Why? Because you're an open source. You're an investment. And when you're in an investment, people want to invest in you, their time, their energy, their money. It doesn't even matter because you're an investment. People look for investments. People want investments. We need investments. I need investments. You need investments. We all need those tangible human investments that we can hold, that we can hug, that we can kiss, that we can, just be there for them. And we can give and invest into their lives, and we want to see that investment grow and that investment evolve. That's really important. I think it's really important to understand that we all want to invest in people, and we want people to invest in us. That's the glue of humanity. That's how humanity works. That's how humanity thrives. That's how humanity evolves and grows into more conscious, awake beings. So I'm getting a little off track. I do this a lot. But I want to finish it up with this. Be willing to receive. I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. Be willing to receive. Be willing to receive. Be willing to accept gifts. Be willing to accept appreciation. Be willing to accept time, energy, advice. You don't need to take everyone's advice. You don't need to say yes to everyone. But you do need to have an open heart. You do need to have an open channel. You do need to have an open pathway so that people can say, hey, I want to give in you. I want to invest in you. I want to add value to your life. And then your response would be what? Yes, please. I'm open. Please share what it is you have to share. And I think if we approach life with that perspective, it's a lot easier. Because like I said, people are looking for investments. People are looking for human potential. And you and I are both human potential. And I need mentors, you need mentors. I need coaches, you need coaches. And we have to allow others to give to us. So that's the first thing. Become more mindful of when and where you're blocked and why you aren't allowing people in your life right now to give to you or to invest in you, because they've always been there. There's always someone in your life that's willing to give or invest into you further, but you are the one creating that metaphorical jail cell for yourself to be imprisoned in. Number 2, give to yourself. Give to yourself. This is difficult for me in particular. A lot of people give to me and are very gracious in my life, so I sort of sometimes use that as an excuse to not give to myself, if I'm being completely honest. Whew. There. I said it. I've been honest with YouTube and Facebook. I use it as an excuse. I really do. So there's certain things in my life where, I've worked hard and I've invested a lot of my time and energy and money into creating a life that I'm very grateful for. Like right now it's, Tuesday afternoon, and I worked a little bit this morning. I did some yoga, made a smoothie, took a nap on a log, and I'm not wearing a shirt, getting vitamin D and walking in nature and biking in nature. I mean, I love my life, I really do, but I have made an excuse not to give to myself that much because people give to me and people are gracious to me, and the problem with that is I'm blocking myself from giving to myself so that I can give more to the world. And it's weird too, because I think it can even be little things. So whether it's you enjoy music, or you enjoy travel, or you enjoy this or that or whatever, don't be afraid to give yourself that. Don't be afraid to give yourself that experience. Don't be afraid to give yourself, that time and that space to just go, out and enjoy and be you, do you, have fun, whatever it may be. Just give yourself that time and that space, because when you do that, when you give to yourself, it fills up your metaphorical bucket of excellence, which is beautiful. And it smells delicious, I tell you what. It smells like essential oils and incense and spices from islands and stuff. But seriously, you need to give to yourself. You need to give yourself experiences. You need to give yourself, buy yourself gifts. It doesn't even matter. You need to be able to give to yourself, because when you do that, when you give to yourself, what you're doing is essentially just stopping and saying, you know what, I've done well, or I've worked hard, and I'm going to acknowledge that by rewarding myself with something that I value. Whether that's an experience, something, physical, a new toy, whatever it may be. You need to be able to give to yourself, because as long as those gifts nourish you and feed your spirit, and that's a really important distinction, as long as those gifts nourish you and feed your spirit and feed your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, all that kind of stuff, you're building your investment. You are the best investment you can possibly make. I always find it interesting how, there's this whole world of money and finance and business and corporatocracy. Corporate, is that what? No, yeah, whatever. There's this whole world, right, of like getting ahead financially, and I get it, because I want to, be, abundant financially, and I am to some degree, but I would like to be more abundant financially so I can do and give and be more in the world. But I think the most important investment that you can possibly give yourself is to invest in yourself. So invest into your health. Buy things that feed your health. Buy things that help your energy levels. Buy things that that are natural, that build a healthier gut, a healthier brain, a healthier cardiovascular system. Invest into your health. If you want health, you need to give health to yourself. Health is a gift that you really give to yourself, and I think that's one of the things I think it's a great place to start, and that's probably why part of the reason why I started Healthy, Wild, and Free was because the gift of health is a relationship between you and yourself, essentially. So at the end of the day, your mind, body, and spirit, that's your health, right? That's your health, your vitality, your essence, your being. And at any given time, you can invest time, energy, or money, or all three, which is the best, most optimal outcome, into your health and into yourself, and reap the rewards of that. So you can feel better, you can have more energy, you can have a stronger body, you can sleep better, get higher quality rest, wake up feeling rejuvenated, wake up feeling creative, wake up feeling ready to claim your dreams and make that dream that you've always been afraid of something that you attack and conquer in a non-attacking and conquering way, because it's just so smooth, and your life is just so smooth, and it just works out because you feel good, you operate good, you align good, and you attract good things into your life that feed into that vision. So you don't even need to have this sort of forceful energy to do that, because it all comes to you, because you've already become who you need to be in order for that abundance and that growth to occur in your life. So all this is to say, really to share that story, that allow other people to give to you, invest in you, and compliment you, and focus on giving and complimenting and appreciating yourself more. And if you can do those two things, those two may seem meaningless or not as valuable as whatever, some wise sage advice, but if you can just do those two simple things in your life, I can guarantee you from firsthand experience, too much of it at times, that your health, your relationships, even if you're single, like myself, even if you're single, and your finances, your financial success, will thrive on the next level. Will evolve, will grow to the next level. And opportunities and abundance and situations and all these different things will open up to you because you have opened up to yourself and you've allowed yourself the value and the self-care and the self-love and the self-respect to become a person of higher value. So invest into your health, invest into your greatness, spend time, money, and energy on bettering yourself, on personal development, on spiritual growth, on superfoods, nutrition. Some supplements, most are crap, unfortunately, but some supplements are really good. Spend time, get a massage, go to a float tank and float. Go get that therapy that you've always wanted to try that's only $50 or $100. Go do it. Just do it. Just go and freaking do it. Go get your wallet, get your keys, leave your house, and do that. Spend the money, spend the time, spend the value, spend it on yourself for once. I'm going to leave you with this. There's a reason that airlines have this oxygen policy, the oxygen mask. So they say, before helping your neighbor, put your oxygen mask on first because, I don't know, you need to, basically. The reason why airlines say this, the reason why all airlines are the same and it's all sort of conclusive is because if the oxygen is leaving the cabin, right, in an aircraft, you cannot take a mask and put it on your child. Let's say you have 2 kids, put it on that child, put it on that child. You will not be able to put the oxygen mask on your children or on your neighbors, and you yourself get your oxygen mask on your own ass within that same kind of time frame or time period. So basically, the rule of the aircraft applies to life. The rule of the sky applies to your life. You have to take care of yourself. You have to give yourself oxygen. You have to give yourself oxygen. You have to give yourself that breath. You have to give yourself that life. You have to give yourself that vitality. You have to give yourself that health, that self-care, that love, that appreciation, that gratitude, that value, that thinking, that brain, that creativity, all of that stuff that you want in your life, and your health, your relationships, and your finances. You have to give yourself first and foremost. And when you give yourself that gift and those gifts, and you continue to invest in those gifts in a cyclical way, those gifts will come back to you in a cyclical manner, and they will continue to grow and become more abundant and manifest in bigger and more beautiful ways. So I highly encourage you to take time to give to yourself today, to your minds, to your body, to your spirit, to your heart, to your soul, wherever you're at. You know where you need to give. Give to yourself in that way, in that area, and it will come back to you tenfold. And keep investing in that moving forward. This is David Benjamin from Healthy, Wild, and Free. I love you. I honor you. I cherish you. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your patience, and your dedication to your excellence. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.